Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
Frangie, Carline, La Selva with you. Today's new drug is a little college football talk. Greg McGarity stops by in about 10 minutes or so. Lee Smith to talk golf in the second hour. Devin Lloyd at the bottom of this hour talking about his emergence. By the way, good story for Devin Lloyd. How he's re-won that job, it would appear. We'll see who starts on Saturday or Sunday, but it sure feels that way. So a lot to do today on a Thursday, brought to you by our friends at Stanley Pools. We're here 2 to 4 on Thursdays, as you know, with Jaguar season. Jaguar Happy Hour comes up right after we, so we move our show up 2 hours. I'm excited about the football weekend. A lot of things to get to, but I do want to get into some college football thoughts with Greg McGarity, not the least of which is we do this all the time with him, usually later in the year because the hot seat talk usually doesn't start in middle of September.
Yeah, unless you're Florida, and
yeah, I guess
you've now developed a tradition with this.
Very good point. But what are you doing if you're the AD right now? If you're Scott Strickland right now, publicly you're just doing nothing or you're either showing support or doing nothing. But privately, what are you doing? You know, I mean, it's an interesting topic. It really is.
I think so too, and I'm also curious to get Greg's thoughts on Dabo Swinney's comments. Greg, I think, was still at Florida when Spurrier left Florida. And again, at his final press conference, his sort of goodbye press conference to Florida, you know, he made a statement that says, when we win here, it's a relief, and when we lose, it's a disaster. And it's no fun to coach in that. And that's definitely what Dabo Swinney is dealing with at Clemson. So if you're an AD, you know, if you're Scott Strickland and you hear Dabo Swinney, a two-time national champion who's 55 years old,
right,
make public comments like that, if you do end up firing Billy Napier, and it would, I think, take almost an act of God for that not to happen now, I mean, don't you have to be ready to pounce and at least feel out Dabo Swinney? And how does that work?
Yeah.
You know, so...
and part of it is now you're dealing with two buyouts. If you're buying out your existing coach, do you have to pay the buyout to go hire a coach too? You don't know. I don't know. But,
right.
But there's a pretty good chance.
I wouldn't think that Dabo would have anything that would preclude him from that at this stage. Isn't that usually for coaches that are sort of like, once you've like won big, you probably don't have to pay to leave.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I really don't know. Well, that's another question we'll pose for Greg. So we'll certainly talk about that today on the program. A lot of things to get to today. One thing I'm going to start with is a college basketball note. Did you see where Florida has officially put Vernon Maxwell back in the record books?
Mad Max, #1.
Well, the reality is it was stupid to ever take him out.
I didn't realize that was a school decision.
It was a Bill Arnsparker decision.
Well, right.
Yeah.
He was the AD.
Yeah, he was ticked off about it. I'll show you. I'll be tough guy. Well, it was their decision. The reality is, until, in my opinion, he's always been one of the greatest players in school history. I gave you my list.
He's third. I didn't realize he's third in the SEC in career scoring.
Yeah, that's right. Third in the SEC. Yeah, the greatest scorer in Florida history. He brought Florida basketball to prominence. He took him to a handful of two NCAA tournaments, took him to a Sweet 16. They had never done that.
Dazzling player.
Played in the NBA for years. He was a great, great player. The 5 greatest players in Florida basketball history, to me, it's not a debatable list. Walter Clayton Jr. is the greatest player in in Gator history. He single-handedly won a national championship. So Clayton and Maxwell, Noah and Horford, Neil Walk. To me, I can't even find anybody else to put in the conversation. If it's 2 guards, 2 front court players, and a center, there's not even another. For me, Maxwell, Clayton, Horford, Noah, Neil Walk.
What about Dan Warner?
Well, okay. There's one other guy in the conversation. Okay, he would certainly be the 6th man.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but I mean, there's nobody else even in the conversation for me. So the fact that he wasn't now for people that wonder what we're talking about, he was this great player, but he was the heart of an NCAA investigation that got Florida put on a bad probation, and because of that, they yanked him out of the record books. And
what was it for?
He took money.
Yeah, he took.
Okay, he was a pioneer.
Yeah, he took.
Which is nothing.
And in addition to that, he wasn't a great guy. He got in some trouble off the court, and Bill Arnsparger didn't like him, and so that's really what it was. Bill, old school tough guy, old football coach, didn't like him, so he's the one that decided it, and it never got put back until today. But Vernon Maxwell was a great, great player. I will say this. the Maxwell Moton teams, were you old enough to appreciate
Oh, yeah.
You were 10.
It was really, to be honest, the first introduction I had to Gators basketball.
Yeah, you'd have been 9 or 10.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was like, this is great. We're awesome in basketball.
Well, that's
apparently.
right. Yeah, and
I didn't realize at the time it was like the zenith of
that's
the program.
That's a great point. At your age, that's right. You would have thought, it is great. We're good at basketball, too. Yeah. So, but anyway, Vernon Maxwell back in the record books. He should have been all along. Again, you could make the argument he's the greatest player they ever had. But to me, the greatest player they ever had was Walter Clayton, Vernon Maxwell, Horford, Noah, Neil Walk. Do you agree with that 5? Would that be?
I think that's a good 5.
It'd be hard to put someone else in. I mean, Mike Miller was good, and Jason Williams was good, but nobody liked those 5.
I would agree.
And those two, and by the way, the back-to-back national titles, Corey Brewer was wonderful, and so was Lee Humphrey, and so was...
You can't take them all.
Those two guys, they won the title because of those two guys.
Correct.
They're both 6'11".
And Neil Walk went second in the draft, so...
And averaged 26 and 17.
So it's hard to... I've never even seen a highlight of Neil Walk playing basketball for Florida.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, he was the player. He was their guy, and he averaged 26 and 19 and 27.
Dang.
That was his averages.
Dang.
26 points, 19 rebounds. JJ, that was his average as a junior. And then
what era are we talking? Like 70s?
69.
Okay.
He was the second pick in the draft to then Lou Alcindor. So the problem, the sad thing was Lou Alcindor, who became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, was considered at the time the greatest basketball player in the history of the sport, right? So if you didn't, the NBA seasons played, you'd appreciate this. The NBA seasons being played along, and the Bucks won. There was no lottery then. The worst record picked first. Well, the Bucks had the worst record, and the Phoenix Suns were second. So the Bucks took Alcindor, who later became Jabbar, and the Suns. Everybody was all over them because they had to settle for Neil Walk. He was the second pick of the draft, but it was an awful second pick because you didn't get Lou Alcindor. You know that was all the story. And I remember thinking as a Gator fan, well, that's not so awful. He's averaging 26 and 19. He was a great player, but he wasn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, right. And so, anyway.
There was also a heck of a co-pilot.
Yeah, he was that too. So, but anyway, so Neil Walk, Horford and Noah, Walter Clayton Jr. and Vernon Maxwell. So I'm glad Vernon is back in the record book. So a lot of things to talk about today. Greg McGarity stops by. What do the Gators do? What does he think of college football? How did last week with Florida losing again, South Carolina getting pummeled affect his game? Probably not great. Probably not a great thing, so we'll certainly ask him about that. We'll hear from Devin Lloyd at the bottom of the hour. Great story for Devin Lloyd, and you did a great job tracking him down. Headlines are after that. Lee Smith in the second hour. A lot of fun stuff to do, so we're glad you're with us on the program. We'll take a break. Glad you're with us. It's the Stanley Pools Thursday. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
When it comes to your favorite football team, John Osher is oh so sure to find the inside insight to keep you up to date. Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Class, and I think you deserve a spa-like shower, don't you? Get rid of that dirty, dated setup you have in your bathroom. Those old-style showers can be really ugly. Install a gorgeous frameless shower with thick, sexy glass and a free diamond coating protection that's easier to clean, like Rain-X for your shower. Your bathroom will feel like a luxury spa every morning and night. You deserve it. Visit my friends at leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barra here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barrier Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to barrierorthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barrier Orthopedics.
You already know it's your main man E to the T here for Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft. And with ball season here, make sure you're on the lookout for my instant reaction before, during, or after the game. All brought to you by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree drafts. Come on, somebody.
Hey, Jacksonville, Rick Ballou here. Looking for a brand new truck? Right now, Crew Cab Ram trucks start at just $38,900 at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side. And every new retail purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty and no extra extra cost. From tough Ram trucks to adventure-ready Jeeps, they've got the perfect ride waiting for you. Stop by Commonwealth Avenue or shop online at jaxwest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
If you want to sell your home, or you're worried about selling your home, or you've had trouble selling your home, let me give you the hotline to the help you need. That's the hotline to Chad and Sandy. 904-414-6200, chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to get the right price, and you need the right marketing, the proven systems. Chad and Sandy hit every base for you. Need to sell now? Instant offers coming. Fast, easy, stress-free. You want max price? Chad and Sandy bring your home to market with unmatched exposure, whether you're buying or selling. Fast or max cash, Chad and Sandy have the proven plan guaranteed. And how about this promise? Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. They are the real estate experts you can trust. So call them today at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Chip Davis, director of the Flounder Pounder Fishing Tournament. We are fast approaching our 16th annual tournament benefiting the Jacksonville School for Autism. With the help of our amazing community, we raised over $1.4 million the last 15 years. This year's tournament will be held at Palm Valley Outdoors on the Intercoastal Waterway. Captain's meeting is Thursday night, October 9th, and the tournament is Saturday, October 11th. I'm inviting you and your family to come out and enjoy our tournament festivities, raise some money, and support autism awareness. Special thanks to U.S. Army Recruitment Jacks for their support. Flounder Pounder for Autism 2025. See you there.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband and wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
The College Football Report is presented each week by the Gator Bowl with Executive Director Greg McGarity. Here's Greg with the Frangie Show crew.
Great to have Greg here talking a little college football with us. Rick Catlett sat in last week. I thought there might be a Wally Pitt moment for Greg here, okay? But Greg bounced back. Catlett was fantastic, but good to have you back. How you doing? You all right?
Doing great. All is well.
Is this your big weekend? Is this the big?
This is our corporate weekend. We've got 250 strong.
Yeah. Hey, so, we got to get ourselves invited to that one weekend.
It's pretty sweet.
Do you know anybody? You know anybody?
I don't.
I don't know. We got to get ourselves invited. I hear that thing's a blast up at Amelia. So.
It is.
But you guys will have a big time. So tell people for people that aren't members yet that will be. Tell me what that weekend's like. What do you?
Well, our corporate members, which we've like I said, I think we got 140 couples coming, close to that number, and we basically thank them for everything they do for supporting us. Right. So we host them up at the Omni at Amelia Island, and we have a little reception on the beach, have a little golf and beach time and pool time tomorrow, and then we have a nice dinner tomorrow night Saturday night watching college football.
Yeah.
And then we all leave on Sunday and go to the Jags game.
Well, what a fun day that is. That's a pretty fun day. That's a great day. So, all right, very good. All right, let's just not bury the lead. Let's get right to it.
Yep.
The Florida Gators are struggling. You've been an AD. We ask you these questions all the time. Mm-hmm. You've been an athletics director who had to make a really, really tough decision. It seems obvious now to most of us that Billy Napier's probably going to lose his job. Now, I know it's harder for you to say you're still in the bowl business, which means you're still in the college football business. But if you're Scott Strickland right now you're Scott, are you going through, you can't, publicly you just support your guy, I know that. But I mean, privately, Greg, are you going through names? Have you reached out to anybody, or you just have names on a piece of paper in your pocket? Well, what's going through the AD's mind right now?
I mean, you're working on plan B. Yeah. Plan A is it all works out.
Right.
But plan B, there's no question about that. You're kind of mining the internet, looking at YouTube.
Okay.
Maybe seeing how coaches react to certain situations.
Interesting.
But I don't think you're contacting anyone.
Okay.
Because you're only into, week 3 now. So that would be almost unethical.
I agree.
To do something like that. But there's no question. Even if Florida was 2-0, you never know when a coach is going to leave you for another job. I mean, you hope it all works out, but you always, especially in your high-level sports of basketball and football and baseball, you're always thinking about the what-ifs. If that coach left, who else is on a list, so to speak? And it gives you time to do research during the year and figuring out how does this person handle certain situations. But, yeah, I'm sure Scott's doing that regardless of whether they were 3-0 or 1-2 or 2-1.
I want to go back to something you said. You said it's not just what kind of offense are they winning? Does he raise money? Blah blah blah. How does he handle stuff? How does he handle adversity? How does he handle losses? And you watch that on YouTube. That's really interesting because there's more to it than just winning and losing. You're really looking for you're wanting YouTube or videos to reveal character, aren't you?
Well, let's cut to the chase. I mean, the head football coach probably has much more of a presence and a representative nature than the president.
That's right.
Or the athletic director. So a lot of people kind of value or they view the institution based on who the high-profile coach is, whether it be Coach K at Duke or you had Billy Donovan back in the day.
That's
you had
right.
Steve Spurrier.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's unfair to say maybe from an academic standpoint, but that's how people view things.
The reality.
But you want to be sure that when they're on that stage, they have it.
Yeah.
And they're the person that can articulate things correctly, speak in a way that people can clearly understand him. And I think those are all intangibles that you've got to have those in place, I think.
Interesting stuff.
What did you make of Dabo Swinney's comments this week in his press conference when he basically gave them the Spurrier of, I'm tired of living in an environment where when we win, it's a relief, and when we lose, it's a total disaster. And if you are an AD like Scott Strickland, who might have a job coming available, does that perk your ear up in terms of, hey, he may be a coach that we need to make sure doesn't want our job?
Yeah, I think I would view that as who's talking to him. Because if he himself is spending time on internet or what have you of hearing that, then I want my guy focusing on X's and O's and recruiting. Now, if he's got somebody in his ear saying, no, Dabo, you can't believe what they're saying about you. Now, if that's coming internally, like from the athletic director, that's one thing. But I think what I'm hearing is he's getting frustrated with all these people that weigh in that don't like the way his team's performing. And so I just think there's lost time on things that he can't control. What he can control is the performance of his team, things of that nature. So I'd much rather have somebody spending time and just say, I'm not listening to that crap. I'm focused on my guys, and that's all I care about. At the end of the day, things will work out fine, or they won't. But right now, I'm not getting involved in all that banner.
What about Napier? You've watched. I think Hayes and I are among them, but I think most people that follow Florida closely can't imagine it now working out. And I'm not a fire the coach guy. You know me, Greg. And Hayes and I talk about this all the time. I don't like firing the coach. I want I want my current coach to be the coach a long time, but I can't fathom now that it's not going to end somewhat quickly. What do you think?
Well, I think during the year you have indicators of things that may be off the field that perk them, that, it could be discipline issues on a team. It could be discipline with a coach. I mean, I've never seen an assistant coach have a 3-game suspension during the year, maybe 1 game, but 3 games. And I've seen some of the tape, but I haven't seen the interaction that probably the depth that the Southeastern Conference office had. But, those are things that would concern me, or things that are not X's and O's, but things that lead to problems that could develop on the field. Because if I've got staff that can't control themselves, I mean, this is pregame. And it's very unusual for a team to walk around the entire field. I mean, usually I've seen teams go out there. Sometimes they'll meet at the center of the field. And one team, I remember it might have been Auburn in Athens, they had a prayer ring around the logo, but they weren't on the logo. But it's never one. And usually teams are there so early that the fans aren't there. Usually you get to the stadium at least 2 hours prior to the game, and gates sometimes don't open until 90 minutes prior. But I think you want to avoid any type of interaction before the game. But it gets back to, if you know you're going to have problems, you better have people around there to say, guys, do not walk over there. Stay here on your side and just avoid. I mean, those are all things that can be avoided with planning ahead of time, I think.
Without a doubt, what a game for Georgia in Neyland Stadium. Both those teams look to me like headed to the playoff. But what did you take out of a magnificent Georgia win in Neyland Stadium?
Well, I thought Tennessee was dynamic. When they get in a rhythm, as you saw, I mean, they were up 21-7 before you could, wink. I mean, they had it really going, and I think there were some adjustments that were made. I think that's one thing that really comes into play at halftime, what adjustments are made. But I think both teams, I mean, they fought their rear end off. I mean, that was a game that neither team deserved to lose. And I love the way that young man stepped up, accepted, his failure that game, came back and kicked another field goal. But that's why sports, especially football, is the margin of error is so thin. I mean, that ball is 2 or 3 feet to the left, and, Tennessee's got the win. And look how great Tennessee is, and Georgia's, people worried about Georgia. So, it's just the way things go. But I think you saw two teams that didn't give up, that busted their rear end for a lot of time, and that's the type of football games you like to see. And for Tennessee, it was a bitter loss because they've experienced that for a number of years, but also showed a little resolve in Georgia's kids as far as they just never hung their head and didn't have one of these woe is me days being down 21-7.
Yeah, I agree with Hayes. I thought this two looked like two of the best teams in the country to me. I think they're both going to be a tough out for anybody that plays them as we move forward. But I got to ask you, I would have thought two teams. I don't know that I see Georgia or Tennessee in play for your game because I think they're both playoff teams.
I agree.
But I would have thought that Florida and South Carolina both would be, and both looked bad last week. How did those two games affect your game? I mean, it's too early to know for sure. I know that.
Yeah, well, I know Sellers went out, but I mean, for Vandy to score 31 points at home is problematic. They go to Missouri this weekend, and we know Missouri doesn't have many tough games, and so they don't have any room for error. But I mean, Missouri's got a pretty easy schedule here. I think they have Alabama at home, but I was disappointed in their defensive play, and I know Sellers obviously on that side of it, but you just don't know. It's going to be. They have a very difficult schedule, and so they're not going to be favored in too many more games. I know they play Kentucky; they should be favored in that game, but it's going to be tough for them to win 4 or 5 games this year. I really believe at South Carolina, which is surprising to me before the season started.
Yeah, without a doubt. On the ACC side of things, what is standing out to you? And obviously Miami looks fantastic. They'll be in the playoff, it looks like, but Clemson could be available. How does the rest of the league look?
Well, I think Tech has the inside track. I mean, you look, they don't play Miami or FSU.
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And I just think with their schedule, I think they're going to be 11-0 going into Georgia.
Wow.
And because they will be favored in every game. And the way they're playing, they deserve to be at the level. But you've got FSU. I think FSU will have 11 wins. I think Miami have 11 wins. I think Louisville's going to have 10 wins. I think Notre Dame's going to end up with 10 wins. So whoever doesn't go up into the college football playoff can be in our game. The only team that's excluded is Duke. We don't have to worry about Duke. I'm not sure they'll even be bowl eligible this year. But it speaks well on both sides, the SEC and the ACC side, that you're the upper half of each conference is really, really, really good this year.
When you look at the ACC, you just had Clemson, so they're not in play, right? They can't.
2 years ago, they could be.
That's
definitely
right,
Duke.
It was 2 years ago.
Yep. So you had Clemson and Kentucky. They could be.
They could be.
But would they send them back here if San Diego's open?
Yeah.
Or Orlando.
I get it.
It's a long shot if they were in the pool.
But possible ACC teams that could come here, there's a lot of. I mean, FSU might play. FSU and Miami could play their way out of it, but then that's two teams that could move the other teams down for you a little bit.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech could be in play for you. Clemson could be in play for you.
Right.
Who else possibly in that league? Louisville?
Yeah, I've got Louisville. I think they've got a chance to win 10 games this year.
Okay.
I also think that Cal's can't play in our game.
Right.
I think they've got a great chance to
be good,
to win a number of games this year. But yeah, you've got Pitt's disappointing.
Right.
Syracuse somewhat disappointing. Virginia Tech's not very good, obviously. But let's see what NC State does and North Carolina do, and maybe SMU. I think those are the other teams that could come into play.
Who do you have your eye on in the SEC in terms of possible teams for you?
Heck, I was talking to Susan Hamilton this morning, who's a former chairman of our bowl, Auburn grad and everything, and she said, "Would you like Auburn?" I said, "Absolutely." I mean, if we had an Auburn Georgia Tech matchup or something like that, Auburn,
the tickets that would sell,
that would be great.
Yes,
that would be great. So yeah, I hope Auburn's in play. Their quarterback I heard is not playing this weekend.
Jackson
at
Arnold.
OU.
Okay, I didn't know that.
A labrum injury or
that's
something
a shame.
like
That's
that.
his old team. He would have loved to play that game.
So they have a very difficult schedule as well because Texas A&M is all of a sudden becoming a giant on that side, and Missouri's in there, Oklahoma's in there. I mean, you got a lot of teams that have a chance to win 10 games as well.
Without a doubt. And when you look at the projections, is there anything that stands out to you?
Well, I mean, some have Alabama in our game, have Notre Dame versus Alabama. I mean,
would that be any good?
Notre Dame,
How would that
Alabama,
be?
the Gator Bowl.
Would the ratings be good on Alabama, Notre Dame?
Yeah, so, we have to remind ourselves, this is week 4 coming up. I mean,
right.
We're a third of the way through the year. Or we're a fourth of the way through. I mean, it's amazing how fast it's going to go.
That's because you get on knucklehead shows like ours, and we make you give names. That's the problem, is we try to drag it out of you.
That's okay.
I will say this. My kind of gut, I always do a gut before the season. My kind of gut for you was this would be the year you get Florida or South Carolina. That's why both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had asked me to guess,
South Carolina may still be okay.
May still be
You're not
okay.
getting Florida.
Yeah.
No one's getting Florida except Lane Kiffin.
But I thought, who are two teams that I think are probably not going to be playoff teams, but could certainly be in that 8-9 range? And I had both Florida and South Carolina on my mind, at least.
Me too. Me as well.
And so I'm trying to think in the SEC, Auburn would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see you get Missouri. I know I'm not supposed to say that.
No,
I don't want Missouri.
Trust me. That voice is being shared with our friends in Birmingham when it gets down to decision time, because for us to go 2 times in the West, you may have a great game with great teams, but part of our 3-legged stool is getting people in the stands. So that didn't work out too well last year.
I guess if you had Notre Dame on the other side, then it would almost be foolproof on the SEC side.
You would think, because SEC schools. A&M and Arkansas play Notre Dame this year. Everybody else, they have a chance to play Notre Dame. They're going to jump at that because it's so difficult to schedule them. Right. So we'll see how things go, but it'll really be interesting to see how things develop. Not a lot of great games this weekend, but some really important games, the few that are being played.
All right, final thing, Florida, Miami. Can the Gators beat them?
I think so. They're going to have to find out some way to pressure Carson back into some mistakes. I don't think Carson's been touched this year. Yeah. If they play defensively and just play error-free ball, run the ball, they got a great running back in Ball, feed him,
right,
and maybe they'll get some breaks, and maybe Miami will be overlooking Florida. So I think they've got a chance every time they play because they do play hard. They hadn't quit.
I agree with that.
And so that's a good indicator there, and you just never know what might spark you. They could throw 5 picks. I don't think that's going to happen, but I just think there's so many times where you get down in scoring position and you fail, and we've seen that happen before. You get in position to score and you don't execute, and that's the difference in the game, whether it's NFL or college.
All right, Greg McGarity from the Gator Bowl executive director there. You going to a game? You don't go to games, do you?
I'm gonna watch them on TV.
Right. You just said it. Today's your big weekend, so have fun on your chairman's weekend.
We will. Thanks, Frank.
We'll take a break. We'll hear from Devin Lloyd after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter. And you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showroom. It's cool, comfortable, and hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast orthopedic specialists performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast orthopedic specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast orthopedic specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Attention ladies! The Ladies Florida State Championship is returning to Best Bet Jacksonville from September 18th to the 21st. Highlights include a World Poker Tour Mega Satellite, a free Q&A session with the Poker Hall of Famer and First Lady of Poker, Linda Johnson, and Women's Poker Hall of Famer, Jan Fisher. It includes the $300 No Limit Hold'em Ladies Championship Tournament and the $200 Kings and Queens No Limit Hold'em event. Don't miss this action-packed weekend. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sunny's here.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheap or discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Forget the cheap shot on Trevor Lawrence. Forget Houston's dominance in the rivalry in recent years. This is why the Jaguars should be supremely motivated to beat the Texans on Sunday. If you beat Houston on Sunday, they are 0-3. This is what they have left with their first place schedule in terms of notable games. They would be 0-3, still having to go to Baltimore, to Seattle, host San Francisco, host Denver, host Buffalo, at Indianapolis, at Kansas City, and at the Chargers. If you beat Houston Sunday, they are dead. throw the knockout punch, put the final nail in their coffin. Houston will not three-peat as AFC South champion if they lose Sunday. The Jaguars, it is all in your hands to end their season.
Well done. Well said. I appreciate it very much. One thing you can do to win that season or to play well and to start debilitating that season is to get good play from your defense. One guy that's played very well is Devin Lloyd. Weren't sure he was going to be a starter, a little bit like the ETN situation. A first-round draft pick who was the second first-rounder that day, but a first-rounder, the team second round. And now they weren't sure what they wanted to do with him. Everybody thought he was going to get beat out by Ventrell, by others. Well, he won the job. He played very well last week, had a huge interception, and now he's the clear starter. I would imagine, again, they haven't announced that yet, but I'm going to guess, since he played all those plays and Ventrell didn't last week, that he's probably going to be the starter this week. And his defensive coordinator, Anthony Campanile, certainly knows that he's got something special in Devin Lloyd.
All the way back through when you watch him in college, I remember evaluating him in college. He's a big body, in general, but he really is blessed with a skill set to pass rush, and he's physical when he does blitz. You know what I mean? I think he takes pride in that, takes it personally when he comes downhill and blitzes, and I think he's done a pretty good job with that to this point in the season. And to be honest with you, he works at it hard. He puts extra effort into that, watching tape and doing extra stuff. Even with Coach Lukaboo after the practice, you could see that every day. So he spent time and done a good job that way.
And doing all that has elevated him to, again, I would think the starter. We'll see if that's the case on Sunday. And also the subject of this Hayes Carline one-on-one.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars linebacker Devin Lloyd here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm good, blessed. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. That was a fantastic interception the other day. Walk us through that play. How'd that open up for you?
Yeah, just zone drop, get to my landmark, reading the quarterback's eyes, and had the opportunity, so I just had to come down with it.
What was it like watching it on film with your teammates?
They highlighted it, but obviously we didn't get the win, so it wasn't as exciting, but it was a good play, definitely wish we would have came out on the positive side of it, but we're going to need more of those. We're going to need more takeaways by everybody all throughout the defense all season long.
You guys are leading the league in takeaways. What's been the key in everybody getting involved in that?
I think, first of all, it's a mindset. The ball's got to be on your mind. Guys attacking the ball, and then just taking advantage of the opportunities that come to us.
You had an incredible battle, obviously, in training camp. Why were you able to, hold off Ventrell and show the staff that you can be a playmaker out there for them?
Just doing my job. Using the abilities God gave me and letting everything else take care of itself.
How does Campanile's scheme, how does that fit your skill set?
I think he has a lot as far as linebackers getting downhill, playing with their hands, playing violent at the point of attack. And obviously we have coverage responsibilities as well. You got to just be an all-around player. And, I really like what he's got going on defense.
Houston coming in, divisional opponent, does that raise the intensity at all this week for you guys?
Every week's a big week. I think, obviously, Houston, we know about Houston and just our history with Houston. So there's something there, obviously. But every week you got to show up and you got to play your best ball.
Seems like they play with a lot of intensity, a lot of physicality. Does that come across on film when you watch Houston?
They fly to the ball. I like what they got going on defense. Those guys definitely swarm. And then offensively, they want to be physical. And we pride ourselves as defense on being physical. So it's going to be a good battle.
What has Jordan Lewis and Eric Murray brought to the defense?
Oh, man, experience. Those guys are vets. Those guys are ball hawks, and they love ball. They're great communicators, and they bring a lot of security in the back end, just all around, great additions to this team.
Houston doesn't have Joe Mixon, but Nick Chubb looks like, he's still got plenty of juice left, scored on a 25-yarder. What stands out about the Texans' ground game?
Yeah, definitely a downhill, physical, old-school mentality type running game. Chubb, he's still, got a lot of juice, and I know he's hungry to get back on that field and make his presence felt again. So got a lot of respect for him as a player. And then, like I said, they're just physical mindset. They definitely want to ground and pound.
Devin Lloyd, thanks so much for your time. Best luck Sunday.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate Devin's time. He did a bunch of interviews yesterday and was kind enough to make some time for me right at the end of the locker room. So
he's good too.
So yeah, good dude. I appreciate it. And you're right. What a story. I mean, it looked like, and obviously this still could be his last year as a Jaguar, but he is putting some things on film to where, he is going to be in line for a lot of interest from some other clubs. I think at a fairly lucrative level. if this continues. And he looks in fantastic shape. It'd been a while since I talked to Devin.
Yeah.
And his conditioning, his frame really looks elite. So he's done a good job taking care of himself. And obviously he's a good fit with what Anthony Campanile is asking of him.
Devin Lloyd, the weak side linebacker, a big part of that Jaguars defense. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL brings you the orange and blue.
Touchdown Gators!
Can the Gators tame the Hurricanes and turn the tables in Coral Gables?
Got a hole and there he goes.
Kickoff at 7:30 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
Football season is all about hanging at home and watching the big ball games. Well, if your AC and heating unit is letting you down and keeping those electric bills sky high, think about getting a new energy-efficient AC unit from Florida Home AC. They've got great deals on replacements plus rebates and incentives to make it more affordable. Call Florida Home AC at 777-4300 and get their expert staff to take a look. Football season is all about fun and playing for the win. Make sure you have the winning team on your side with Florida Home AC.
Gator fans, Dylan Denmark here. Join me Saturday night at 7:30 for the Gators Hurricanes game at Port Tap Room downtown. You can win a pair of tickets to the Florida-Texas game Saturday night at Port Tap Room.
Let's go Gators!
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I like to only recommend the very best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. Now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for up to 72 months. That's 6 years of interest-free payments with Pella on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just visit their showroom on Phillips Highway, just north of Bay Meadows, for quality you can trust and savings you can't miss. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Millard Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Millard Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Millard Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Millard Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
When you roll into a convenience store for some cold Bud Light, you want to make sure it's, well, cold. Check out the big coolers at Circle K. They make sure it's chilled and ready to go for the big game or party. Swing by Circle K and pick up some cold Bud Light.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Let's get it cranked up with the Jaguars, Frank. Let's talk about that ground game. How effective do you think the NFL's leading rushing team can be against this Houston front?
Very. I think I watched Tampa Bay run right at them on Monday night, Hayes. Houston's got great ends. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are one of the better pairs in the league. They're really good players. But I don't know that they've got great tackles. And I think you can run right at them. We all watched the Bucs do it. And I think that's who the Jaguars are. At some point, you have to be who you are, and that's who they are. And I think they're going to run right at them. You're going to see a lot of ETN, who's been so good in these early games, and I think Bashaw Tutin's going to get some more carries. So, yes, I think he can be. I think it's one of the keys to the game. Jags want to run the football and run it right at you.
We know that Parker Washington is starting to emerge. Had a fantastic training camp and looked good in the loss at Cincinnati. Offensive coordinator Grant Udisky met with reporters today and talked about Parker Washington's development.
His shiftiness poses a challenge for defenders, whether it's safeties, corners, linebackers matched up against him. The other great thing that he's done is go up and be able to track the ball and get the ball. We talked about it a little bit in training camp, him making plays when the ball's thrown his way, making acrobatic catches, going up there and competing for the ball when it's in the air. But when the ball's in his hand, getting vertical, trying to make plays, run after the catch is just another facet to his game and what makes him one of our guys we want to get the ball to.
Yeah, I think Parker's a guy. You got to figure out how and when. He's not a super fast guy, but boy, is he a football player. You know that? That dude's a football player, man. That ball he went up and got the other day, I'd like to see more of him. I really would.
Absolutely, and I think there's a good chance that we'll start to see that. Parker Washington only played 17 offensive snaps against Cincinnati. So, yeah, I would think you'd get a little bit into the 20s against Houston. We'll see how it goes. On the defensive side of the ball, we know Darnell Savage was released earlier this week. That seems to clear a path for young safety Antonio Johnson to get a bigger defensive role. Defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile talked about what makes Antonio Johnson such a valuable piece of the defense.
I thought he really had a good spring and a good summer. He's a big guy that can run, can cover ground. Antonio has ball skills, and he'll hit you. He's tough. To me, that's always the most important thing. Do you have guys that love football, love to play, good teammates, and they're tough? And he's a tough kid. That's important to me, and I've seen that out of him, so excited for him.
Let me say this. Antonio Johnson was drafted low, 5th round, I think it was, after being looked at as a 1st or 2nd round talent. So something wasn't right. He wasn't picking stuff up. It wasn't off-field problem. It wasn't getting in trouble at A&M. So he gets here, and you see some of the same. Wonderfully talented, but didn't play as well as his talent indicated that he should. If the light goes on for that cat, on a team where 2 safeties are playing really well now, Dewey is really playing well. He's earned his stripes, and Eric Murray's been good. He's got a deflection and an interception in 2 games. That could really help the cause. Watch what Antonio Johnson is, Hayes, if the light goes on for him. Could be a very good player.
Yeah, good call. No doubt about it. Let's get it to around the NFL. Week 3 starts tonight with undefeated Buffalo hosting winless Miami. Is this one going to be a rout, or will it be compelling?
It's funny. This is one that's got route written all over it. Buffalo's at home. They're one of the best teams in the league. Miami is reeling. So my first thought would be it'd be like when Jacksonville went up there last year and just got absolutely buried.
Obliterated, yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be. I think there's enough fight left. I think Buffalo's going to win the game. But I think there's enough fight left in Miami that it's worth watching into the second half. At least that's my guess.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Josh Allen has a broken nose.
Yeah.
He's got the shield.
I don't know what that matters.
He's
but.
the shield. He's wearing the shield.
And to your point, Frey, it does feel like Miami has too much offensive talent with Achane and Tyreek and Waddle. It's like, why can't you guys figure this out?
Correct.
So we will see if maybe tonight is Mike McDaniels able to pull a surprise. Jaden Daniels not practicing today as Washington gets ready to host Las Vegas on Sunday, so certainly something to watch out. One of the young superstars in this league battling through a knee injury may not be able to play against the Raiders.
Yeah, and they certainly don't need another loss either, by the way. Great player. You hate to see him down. It's a lot of injuries early in the season, it feels like.
Really are. In Indianapolis, the Colts got good news. Tight end Tyler Warren and receiver Josh Downs were back at practice today as the Colts prepare for a road game at Tennessee. I do think that game's dicey. Like, I kind of think Tennessee has a good chance to pull this upset. I think Tennessee's been tough defensively on the road. It's in their house. But good news for the Colts. If they have Josh Downs and Tyler Warren, that certainly makes it easier to go in there and keep Daniel Jones playing at a high level.
They got me concerned. I mean, Daniel Jones was a top 10 pick. Sometimes, guys, we have this talk all the time, Hayes, are better at their second stop. I'm not going to lie, the Colts have me concerned. They've got a great running back. They've got good receivers. They've got a quarterback who's got a wealth of talent, and they're pretty good on defense. So, yeah, that game concerns me a little. I'd be lying. That team concerns me a little. I'd be lying if I said it didn't.
Let's get into college football. The NCAA removes the spring transfer window and moves the postseason window to January as opposed to December. So now just one window for players to enter the portal as opposed to two.
Way better. Way better. As a fan, you liked having another one to wait for because their portals are fun. But for the sake of the sport, way better. Now, if you're firing your coach, anybody, I'd fire him faster because you have to get going on the portal faster. Not that anyone we know is firing their coach.
Right.
But if you're firing your coach, I'd do it quickly. And so
I actually heard the opposite take this week, that because so many guys are going to be looking like to get another red shirt and go to a different school, that you might hold off till week 5, having all the guys played, knowing that they'll have to come back next year.
Makes a good
fire your coach.
Which makes sense. You're right. Stay past the portal window or the red shirt window.
One thing
you know what, JJ, that makes sense.
One thing that this does too that I think helps schools that are looking for a coach is the way the portal is set up now, with it opening in early December. You sort of couldn't hire a coach that was into the playoff. Like, it just wouldn't. No coach is going to leave his school when he's competing for a national championship. With the window now starting in January, you could theoretically hire a coach after a mid-December playoff loss and go from there. So again, something to monitor for the Gators. If Lane Kiffin is their target, Ole Miss certainly looks like they could be in that playoff mix. But yeah, I agree. Good, and maybe we'll have spring games back,
right?
Because coaches won't have to worry about that being an evaluation tool. So no more spring transfer window in the portal. The SEC will announce opponents for the 2026 schedule on Tuesday. That's when we'll find out who each team's 3 annual permanent opponents will be. Who do you think Florida's 3 should be?
Should be Georgia, Tennessee, Auburn. But that's a tough, from a competitive standpoint, that's tough. Everything you read in here, it's going to be something like Georgia, South Carolina, Oklahoma. That seems to be the conventional thinking. It should be Georgia, and I understand.
So no Tennessee.
That's the talk you hear. We'll see if it plays out that way. It should be Georgia, Tennessee, and Auburn. Now, look.
I would love that.
Everybody's got rivals,
right?
And sometimes you can only have 3 of these. So I understand the math might not add up, but as a Gator fan, those are the 3 I want to see them play.
Yeah, and if you're Auburn, you're like, well, we're playing the Iron Bowl, we're playing the South Oldest rivalry with Georgia, and now we're playing Florida.
Yeah,
so there could be some pushback, but
and I know Florida's played LSU every season since 1971, and so it's a rivalry. But I'm okay if they don't play LSU, and I like that trip when I used to go, but. I'd rather see Auburn than LSU.
I would rather see Auburn. Auburn is more of a traditional rival of Florida's than LSU. They both have great history, but to me, the Auburn-Florida rivalry dates way back. We've talked about it at length.
And your point's a good one. Auburn, Auburn's getting Alabama and Georgia.
Right.
That's a no-brainer.
Correct.
So that means they would get Alabama, Georgia, Florida. That's tough sled.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We'll see. So Tuesday we'll find out. That'll be really exciting to see what the league does. Miami is building statues to honor Heisman Trophy quarterbacks Vinny Testaverde and Gino Torretta, part of a renovation that Miami is doing. So they got a generous donation, and now your boy Gino and Vinny will have statues in front of the football complex.
Which is awesome, by the way. Touchdown Radio is doing that game. J.P. Shadrick and Gino Torretta on the call. Casey Jones on the sidelines. Except the color commentator's got to go down there in the first quarter. I said, so JP, do a good job. JP's great. He'll be great. And Casey Jones will be with him. But I can tell you, I spoke with Gino today, and I went down last year, and JJ, I think you remember this. I went down last year when they retired his number. And I can remember how emotional that was. His whole family was there, all of his friends. We had two suites we sat in. It was a really cool day. And I remember how excited he was, and this is a big deal for him too. So
yeah, we don't have any statues.
No, there's two Heisman winners, and they're both gonna have a statue, and they both deserve it. And I can tell you, we talked today. He's really excited about that, and I couldn't be more excited. One of the all-time good guys I know. I couldn't be more excited for him.
This headline surprised me. Kansas and Arizona State are in talks to play next year's game at London's Wembley Stadium.
I saw that. Do we allow them to play at Wembley? Does that have to come across our desk?
Sign off on that.
Yeah, I think we do. Good for them. By the way, I like Wembley. I like that Wembley area. Tottenham's a newer, more beautiful, more contemporary stadium. But again, we've been a bunch. For people that know, I like the area where Wembley is. I like it there. So I think it's a great experience for them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the sports blue bloods end up doing this on a regular basis. We will see. Let's get into college basketball. Florida reinstates Vernon Maxwell, who once again becomes the school's all-time leading scorer with 2,450 points. That ranks third in SEC history as well. Maxwell played for the Gators from 1984 through 1988, but broke NCAA rules and later had his stats nullified by the school.
Which is one of the dumbest things ever. Bill Arnsberger did that probably because he was mad at him. Vernon Maxwell is one of the handful of greatest players in Florida history. I've got him in my top 5 of all time. He's one of the great. The fact that he was ever yanked from the record books was stupid, and I'm glad he's back in there.
Let's get to Major League Baseball. The Cubs are headed to the playoffs for the first time since 2020. Chicago is 88-64. 5 games back of the Brewers in the NL Central, but in the tournament.
What about it, JJ? Have you come around on the Cubs at all or not yet?
No, I think they're going to be one and done in the playoffs, unfortunately.
You've been consistent. You've been steady with that. I don't think so. I think they can score. I think they can really score, so we'll see.
I would love for them to knock out the Mets.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. I will be cheering for him if that is one of the matchups.
All right, very good. We will get you out on today's musical note. On this date, back in 2000, Dido releases Thank You. The song gained additional popularity later in the year when Eminem sampled a verse for his iconic Stan. Happy 25th anniversary to a great song. Hard to believe this one is a quarter century old.
Great song. I mean, really, really great song. You're well done as always.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. We'll talk a little college football in a minute. Some golf after that with Lee Smith. A lot more to do. Stay with us.
Drank too much last night, got bills to pay. My head just feels in pain. I missed the bus and there'll be hell today. I'm late for work.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Folks, are you looking for a better used car shopping experience? Well, you'll find it at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Now, with Car Bravo and Nimnick, you'll save big and drive home with a smile. Nimnick Buick GMC can certify all makes and models. That means Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right, all makes, all models. Are you trading in your old vehicle? Well, don't forget, who gives you more top dollar for your trade? Nobody but Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com or visit their showroom off of Phillips Highway. And remember, there's a lot of ways to get used cars, but there's no better way than to do it with Car Bravo, and Nimnick is the place to get your Car Bravo car for you. Head there today. All makes and models. They've got them all, and they've got them at Nimnick. So what's the best place to get cars, trucks, SUVs? Well, that's easy. Nobody but Nimnick.
Open the weekend early with Pre-Game Friday.
Anything you want to add to this?
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
That's all I ever think about.
Pre-Game Friday.
Built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Resto Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Resto Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestoProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestoProsNEFlorida.com.
Resto Pros!
Jacksonville, archery season is here, and nobody does archery like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. Come test shoot the newest bows from Matthews, Hoyt, Raven, and all the top brands. And starting this month, take advantage of Florida's sales tax holiday on all Second Amendment related items, running now through the end of the year. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Yo, it's your main man, E to the T here with a quick message from Twin Peaks. Did you know that Thursday, September 18th is National Cheeseburger Day? Let's celebrate with a seasoned smash and seared to-order cheeseburger, topped with your choice of cheese, and pair it with a 22-ounce Coors Light or Miller Lite all day long. Not in a drinking mood? Grab a cheeseburger and pair it with a tea or a soda. Say hello to one of our favorite holidays at Twin Peaks on Atlantic and Kernan. Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views. Come on, somebody.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, we do it all. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts at the Jaguars Call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by TopDressing.com. JTA Game Day Express is back. Save gas and avoid parking hassles as the Jaguars take on the Texans this Sunday. Let them do the driving with multiple locations around town and passes starting at just $10 on the MyJTA app. To learn more, visit JTAFLA.com. JTAFLA.com. It's 85 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
I sure appreciate my friends from Stanley Pools. Man, they do a great job, and they have done our backyard. They've redesigned it. They've done the pool a few times. They service our pool. Stanley Pools is the only name you need to know in the pool business in Jacksonville. I can promise you that. There's football going on this weekend. There's also football going on this weekend, Carl. I don't know if you knew that or not. Sporting Jacks,
Kansas City coming to town. I hate that team.
Sporting Jacks in Kansas City throw the records out the windows when they get together. But the Sporting Jacks folks do a terrific job. The soccer game is Saturday night, I believe, right, JJ?
Yes, 7:30.
And how about this? How about dollar beers?
Yes, please.
Okay, yes, please is right. Give me caller.
I'll take about 12 of those.
How about caller 3 right now? You want to go see Sporting Jacks play soccer against Kansas City? That is on Saturday night over there at UNF. Dollar beers, you'll enjoy those. Give JJ caller 3 right now at 641-1010. Florida and Miami get together. I asked Toretta to go easy on the Gators. It didn't sound like he was willing to help on that regard at all. Here's what I would do. I think it's really unhealthy to not at least for the good of your football team to not at least say, listen, if quarterback isn't going well, we're going to the other guy. I want to hope Lagway plays very well. But if he doesn't play well, you're not bailing on him or quitting on him if you're saying, come over here and watch for a while and let us put the other guy in. I hope Tramel Jones, if things go badly, I really hope he gets a chance to play. I can't imagine that Lagway would be out of sorts again the way he has been, and you wouldn't give a couple series to Tramel Jones. I just can't imagine it. Now, I can't imagine it because that's Billy's MO. But boy, Tramel Jones has to get some time. And by the way, the best way for Lagway's career not to end at Florida is if he's struggling to come out for a while and catch your breath and go back in a few games, not to just throw 5 interceptions again or whatever it is. Tramel Jones should play in this football. Unless Lagway looks like last year's Lagway, Tramel should play in the game.
You may even want to do it simply for a gamesmanship thing,
Second
too.
or third
I mean,
series.
yeah, just put him out there for a series, let him hand off a couple times, throw a couple, passes in rhythm, which Tramel has shown the ability to do, and then bring Lagway in just to maybe it throws Miami off a little bit and introduce that element into the game plan, something that maybe Mario Cristobal hasn't planned that much for.
Right.
And again, Tramel Jones seems like a kid that if you just gave him these are the 8 plays we're going to run for you on Saturday, and 3 are runs and 5 are passes, that, he could have a very good idea of this is what I'm supposed to do on these plays and just kind of have a curveball ready. I mean, it's going to take unbelievable effort to beat Miami. I mean, we might be talking about the eventual national champion. I mean, They look incredibly balanced. They're fantastic on both lines of scrimmage. They have a seasoned quarterback who now really seems to have found an inner peace at his second stop. So it's going to take something spectacular. You're not a trick play guy, so you're not going to do anything if you're Billy Napier from a trick play standpoint that's going to, work in your favor. You've never been a big block a punt or, fake a punt, steal a possession guy. You've never shown the ability to do that at Florida. So it's not going to be from that. So if you're going to have a curveball ready for Miami, what is it? And what might make the most sense is just having it scripted in the plan that the first 5 minutes of the second quarter, no matter how the game is going, are going to be for Tramel Jones.
Right.
I mean, I say no matter if DJ Lagway has 170 yards in the first quarter, he's probably taking the rest of the game.
But I got your point.
Yes, but have it to where that is something that they have practiced doing all week, so it is something that both players are comfortable with, or at least have had time to get mentally comfortable with, have those conversations before you're doing it in the heat of battle.
Let me tell you what I think is going to happen. You ready for a prediction?
Sure.
Here's what I predict is going to happen when Florida has the ball. You ready for this? You sure you're ready?
Yes.
Florida's going to hit the ball. Okay, I think they're going to be in a shotgun. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen. I think, just me guessing, that the 2 tight ends, Hayden Hansen and Livingston, are going to line up on the left side.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then you know what I think is going to happen? I think he's going to punch out. and when he punches out, we know what I think is going to happen? They're going to both move to the right side.
Yeah. And Miami will have no idea what to do when
I think they're
that
going to
happens.
shift to the right side.
Yeah.
You know what happens then? I think Trey Wilson's going in motion. Okay?
Yeah.
And then after that, I think he's either going to hand it to Ball or throw a wide receiver screen. What do you think? Who would expect any of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You might be onto something.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Well, let me listen.
You've been studying probability charts.
Listen, what I'm going to tell you is this. When I come back Monday and tell you I was right, okay, the 2 tight ends line up next to each other, punch out to the side. The 2 tight ends then move to the other side and line up next to each other. Trey Wilson in motion and a handoff. I'm telling you. That's how I think. Hey, one thing I'm always a step ahead.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, maybe this first 3.5 seasons under Napier was just him warming. Like, that was all to fool us on Saturday.
The ultimate hustler.
Yeah.
There's no question. Paul Newman is at work in Coral Gables. That's right. But anyway, that's my prediction. Okay?
Yeah.
Punch out the 2 tight ends, and because you can't play a tight end unless they're 270. I figured that out.
Right.
They go from left to right.
Yeah.
Trey Wilson in motion. Play fake or handoff. Wait, tell me. I mean, tell me that's not innovative.
I think.
Tell me I'm not a little ahead of the game.
I think you are. Do you think that Steve Spurrier ever privately reflects on? I brought you guys the fun and gun
and now
35 years ago, and this is the crap you run in 2025.
Yeah, knowing him, of course, I think he's thinking that. Yes, I do think that. Take a break. Let's talk golf with Lee Smith after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Enlighten your college knowledge before the games begin.
I'm RJ Saunders. We'll break down players, games, and storylines
On the Bueller Air and Plumbing College Kickoff.
served up by Sonny's Barbecue.
Friday night at 6 on 1010XL.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Michael Nickus in Jacksonville at 904-777-6888.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family's secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here. Only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do. Stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
To catch more fish, you've got to think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services. And Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
Frangie here. Experience professional grade at Nimnik Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. Yes, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. So shop 24/7 online at NimnikBuickGMC.com or at the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to ITPPartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel. All makes, all models. Whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
All right, time to talk a little golf with our friend Lee Smith. He's brought to you by Sunshine Turf. Call my friends at Sunshine Turf, 904-383-0243 for the backyard putting green like I've got, or for a playground turf, or whatever you want. Nobody does a better job, commercial or residential. Caleb at Sunshine Turf, 904-383-0243. Lee Smith's back close to home, aren't you? Medina in the Chicago area. How you doing, buddy?
Yes, sir. Yeah, just God's country back here in Central Illinois. I know you know all about it, Frank.
I do.
Yeah, just a couple hours north here in Chicago.
Tell me about Medina, by the way. I got a buddy that's a member at both Butler and Medina. All right, tell me about Medina. It's supposed to be spectacular, right?
It is. It's fantastic, and they do such a great job. You know, another one of those properties. I think it's well over 600 acres. Here, multiple golf courses, and they really do a great job of really only hosting the biggest and the best. And having had numerous major championships, a Ryder Cup here, our PGA Tour team is here preparing for the President's Cup about 1 year from now, and so it's to be played on course number 3, and really looking at build out, and it's just a golf course that has, I think, 1,200 members, but is full of history and great moments, and looking forward to as we're entering Ryder Cup week, it's kind of team golf talk, right? So a year from now, in 2026, holding the President's Cup here is going to be a great event.
Without a doubt, Lee, it's great to talk to you. Scotty Scheffler continues his dominant ways, wins the Procore Championship last week at 19 under. I guess it's probably unfair, but, I mean, he is – great things are obviously expected next week from Scotty at Bethpage.
Yeah, I think as we've probably talked about every year or every week talking golf, that's probably the least of everybody's worries is Scotty showing up and playing like Scotty. I think the things that stuck out to me, Hayes, was obviously Ben Griffin on that team finishing second, J.J. Spawn there in the top 5 or 6. And really the talk coming out of that event was, I think Scotty even used the word weird, but that historically that maybe hasn't worked as well is our guys taking 4, 5, 6 weeks off leading into these big team events. And the fact that the team kind of bypassed the opportunity for a scouting visit to Bethpage in order to go there and stay competitively sharp. And hopefully with the finishes of Scotty and Ben and J.J. Spawn will, show big things. I think Scotty certainly will show up. Just always a matter of, with 2 of the days being team events and partner games, who you partner him with. Obviously he's had some success with Russell Henley over the years, so that would be a comfortable pairing. But I think Scotty's going to play well. It's trying something new, and the past hasn't worked, and really developing that balance between rest and staying sharp. But our guys going and being competitive, I think that's I'm hoping that they ride that momentum right into Bethpage next week.
Yeah, 10 of the 12 played in that event. So interesting stuff to see if that does change. All right, when we have you in here Thursday, we'll certainly really do a preview because we'll be a day out. But give us a little bit of a primer now for people that don't follow it closely. We know people by now probably know it's the U.S. team versus the European team and probably who some of the players are. But what to look for? Tell us a little bit about Bethpage. And again, we'll do this more in detail next week. But for the layman golf fan, Lee, tell us about Bethpage Black. Tell us a little bit about what to look for if you're getting ready to watch this thing in a week or so.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is regardless of venue, number one, Bethpage is another one of those, just a huge ballpark. You're going to have long, rough golf course, more than likely will be set up very difficult. I think we talked about it last week or the week before. The home team has the opportunity to set the golf course the way they would like it. And that will always be a storyline leading into the event that, if you brought 12 short hitters, you set up the golf course a little shorter, or you got 12 bombers, you set it up a little longer, or if you got great putters, you pick difficult hole locations, or maybe if you're at a disadvantage from a putting standpoint, you pick, maybe some easier hole locations. But I think, one of the storylines that popped up last Ryder Cup in Italy was even taking the analytics a little further. And I can't remember the exact yardages, but, the European team played to their strength. They had an advantage data-wise, analytics-wise, from 120 to 180 yards or whatever the yardage was. And they set up a lot of the par threes to play into that yardage. They set up a lot of the other holes and the approach shots to set up to that yardage. So there's really a lot of science that goes into course setup. So you can take a golf course that could play super hard and super long, but you obviously want to provide your team with as much favor as you possibly can. And if you set it up as an example really, really long for a guy like Bryson DeChambeau or Cameron Young that hits it really, really far, that might hurt a Russell Henley and a Colin Morikawa that don't hit it near as far. So, and then the second thing that I would say, Frank, is team events and match play are completely different than maybe what we're used to a lot of times here in the United States. We just don't play a ton of it. And so being competitively sharp, I think, is really good coming in. But having comfortable pairings, people that the golf ball will be a big deal that normally we don't talk a lot about. But when Scotty Scheffler, who plays a golf ball that's fit for his golf swing and his trajectory and his spin rate, gets paired with a Russell Henley that plays a golf ball for his trajectory and his spin rate. When they play separately, they're totally different. When they play as a partner, they got to play one golf ball in the alternate shot or foursomes format. So, always a lot of storylines that, that each team is obviously trying to find favor or something that gives them a little bit of an advantage going into the contest.
We know on the final day it's all singles, but in the first 2 days where it's team, do the captains have to play guys a certain amount of time, or could you sit a guy basically for 2 days and then just have them play in the singles? That might be unorthodox, but is there any quota that the captain is bound by?
No, there isn't. Traditional wisdom would say that, especially with rookies, or you want to make sure that each player plays once each day. So that's probably the customary approach. You don't want a rookie going out there first, but you don't want their first time to be coming up on a Sunday. So traditionally, most everybody would play each day at least to try to get a feel for the golf course, get the competitive juices and a little bit of the anxiety and maybe nervousness out, especially on one of the 2 days, if not both of the 2 days. But I think, one of the most famous Ryder Cups that Justin Leonard put at the Country Club, if I remember correctly, I think the strategy of the European team that year was they sat their four rookies the first 2 days and didn't play them at all. And then basically threw them out there only in the singles. And obviously it ended up not working for them. So no, the captains get to choose that. And that'll also be a storyline is to, when you have rookies, do you get them out there early? Do you pair them together so that they're nervous together? Or do you pair them with an experienced player that can kind of tow them around the golf course? A rookie, you could put them in the best ball format, so they have a partner that plays the hole with them, and they're not dependent, as opposed to the alternate shot where they have to hit every other shot. And so there's certainly a large amount of strategy that'll go in that for each captain.
And I'm glad you kind of outlined it for a viewer. If you've not watched, if you're not a golfer, right? If you're not a golfer, it's going to look weird to you in some ways. Lee just said it, an alternate shot, different guys hit shots every other time. There's also, if you've never, and it's going to sound silly or simple, But if you've never watched golf, you've never played golf, it's going to be weird seeing guys pick balls up, right, Lee? I mean, if you watch golf on TV, the hole doesn't end until the ball's in the hole, right? I mean, now.
Correct. No, you're exactly right.
Now people are going to be, you're going to give you the putt and pick it up. And I've watched golf with people, Lee, that aren't golf fans that are like, what the hell? You know, why did he pick the ball up when it was a foot from the hole? So I guess my point is it's a different viewing experience if you're not used to it.
Correct. So, and that's a great point, Frank. So match play is different than medal play or stroke play. Whereas in medal play or stroke play, you're not just playing against the people in your group, but you're playing against an entire field. So, yeah, you have to hole every putt, no matter if it's 3 inches away, 3 feet away, or 30 feet away. Because you're not just playing against the group, the people you're playing in the group with, you're playing against 100 other players. So it's a protection of the field that every ball has to hit at the bottom of the hole. In match play, that you'll see next weekend at the Ryder Cup, you're playing for a point, and you're only playing against the players in your group. So if you and I are playing against each other, and I've heard you, Frank, you are a little lockjaw. You don't like to give putts. I've heard that going around Jacksonville. That if I hit it up there to a foot, you're going to make me putt it.
I get quiet. I'm a quiet guy. Hayes, that's what I am. I'm
exactly.
quiet.
I tend to be a little more generous. But knowing your putting style, I may be may late hold out on you. But a player can give a 3-footer for a multitude of reasons. One, if it's you plan on they know you're going to make it, they can say pick it up. Or if you're putting for a 3 and I'm putting for a 5, and there's no way you're going to 3-putt from whatever distance, you can give putts. So there is such a thing as a gimme. In match play when there's not in medal or stroke play.
Final question about this, and this may be a dumb question, but I've always wondered this. So I'm going to ask somebody that knows golf really well like you. Would there ever – I love the Ryder Cup, but I got to be honest, I'm distracted with football this time of year. I think people around here tend to be. It's America's sport. Would there ever be talk of, and I know it's a dumb question, but indulge me, of pausing the tour season and playing it in June? And then resuming, kind of like hockey does, kind of like sports do for the Olympics, when we're really into watching golf, man. June and July, I can't wait to watch golf on Sundays. This time of year, I don't watch golf on Sundays. I watch football on Sundays. Has there ever been talk about that, Lee? Would it ever make sense to just pause the tour for a week or so and play the Ryder Cup where everybody's watching it, or is that a dumb idea?
I wouldn't say it's a dumb idea, Frank. I don't know that I've heard that discussed. One challenge with that is if you use the Ryder Cup as an example, is the Ryder Cup's put on by the PGA of America and not operated by the PGA Tour. So right. You'd have to get multiple governing bodies to come together and create the schedule. But I'd probably answer that question, with our new CEO, Brian Rolap's response around, a blank canvas of creating a new schedule. And I think your thought of almost like an all-star break.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Where you would create an all-star break that would celebrate the 12 best players on each side or whatever that would look like. And it would come together with 2 weeks off, but they only play for 3 days. So there's a little break in there. I think I would have to assume, not being at the level to be in those meetings, but I would have to assume there's probably discussion around all of those types of things when you're ultimately creating the best possible PGA Tour and golf product that can possibly be built, is to take a look at what rest looks like, what weeks off leading into the biggest tournaments look like, and those types of things. I don't think it's a dumb question at all, and I can only imagine that's something that will be talked about. Like you say, when you have the attention and people are thinking golf, and it's in the middle of the golf season, would be a great time to do it.
It'd be interesting to see. All right. Lee Smith checking in, our golf analyst, and, of course, the executive director of the Players Championship. He'll be back in here in studio with us next week as we really prepare you for the Ryder Cup. Lee, enjoy.
Hey, Frank, I do have, just to let you know, I do have bad news about that. I'm actually going to be at the Ryder Cup.
Oh, that's actually good news for you.
I was going to say, it's great news for me, and even better for us. We'll be able to talk right from the grounds there. No, our great partners at the Players with Optum invited myself to go up there, and so I look forward to taking in the pageantry and proving Hayes wrong that the U.S. is going to win this year.
I love the bet. I love it very much. That's even better. We'll get a live report from Beth Page from Lee Smith next week. Lee, enjoy your time here in Chicago, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Lee Smith, who does such a good job, and he'll be at the Ryder Cup next week. Isn't that cool?
Fantastic.
He'll be checking in. Our report, our Ryder Cup preview will be from the Ryder Cup, which is really good stuff. Let's take a break. More in a moment. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This year's playoff road rides through the 904. Last season's AFC South champs take their first shot at Trevor and the playoff-hungry team in teal. It's back at the bank for a big one against a division rival. Jaguars, Texans, Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010 XL.
Cowboy.
Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. New name, new location, same great deals. And we're ready for you. We're going all out with end of summer savings, like new Kia starting at $20K. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or you can even hit the road with financing rates as low as 0. It's not too late. Online at KiaOnAtlantic.com. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Frank Frangie here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they're opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big...
Whoa! See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey, we all think we're experts on football, right? Well, it's time to prove it with Prize Picks. Hicken here for Prize Picks. Listen, you and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right, it gets you paid. So what are we experts on? Like the Jaguars. We know what Brian Thomas Jr. is going to do, and Prize Picks makes it fun. It's simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections If you get your picks right, you cash in. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks doesn't count it as a loss. Prize Picks put their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Download the app today and use code 1010XL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code 1010XL. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We do thank our friends from Stanley Pools one more time. They are the superstars. 904-269-7277. That's the number to call. It's been the number you've been calling since 1988 for the best pool company in town. Pavers and backyard redesign. Those great pools, pool screen enclosures if you like. They do, and they service pools and do a great job on mine. Stanley Pools, the best pool company in town. And love talking about my friends from Stanley Pools. Tonight, Hayes Carline in upstate New York. The Miami Dolphins come calling. What do you expect? I mean, you asked me what I expected earlier. What do you expect?
I think it's going to be difficult. I think Miami will fight because this is sort of, you're at 0-2. It's a divisional game. The world is watching. There's been a lot of speculation about Mike McDaniel and really their star players, Tua, Tyreek Hill. So, I think it's, if you're the Dolphins, you're not going to get many moments like this. You're not playing a lot of primetime games. So this is an opportunity to prove to people that, no, we're still fighting here and we can do some good things. So I think they battle into the fourth quarter, but Josh Allen's just too much. I mean, at the end of the day, what he can provide as a passer and runner is just going to be too much. So I could see the Dolphins, particularly Achane, looking good early, and maybe the Dolphins even lead the game at half. But I think Buffalo wins the game by 17.
Is this the year Buffalo's gets over the hump?
I don't think so. I think they'll be very close. And it does appear like the Chiefs now may be they may be mortal.
Mortal. That's the word I was looking for.
And so the road may not go through Arrowhead this year. I really think it's the Ravens' year. That's the team. If they can just stop giving games away, games in which they've got like a 95%, analytical chance of winning. If they can just get beyond that, I think they're right there with Philadelphia in terms of being the best teams in the league. So I think it's the Ravens' year, but certainly the Bills are on a very small list of Super Bowl contenders.
And you get this hunch at some point they're getting there, right? I mean, there's too much good there. Maybe the best quarterback in football. I mean, you can take the top 3 or 4 and throw them into a box and debate them. But I've always said Mahomes is the best, and I still think that. But boy, it's gotten close.
Is this as close as it's ever been?
To me,
since Mahomes has become the guy.
Yeah, to me, JJ, it is. And I don't mean just with Josh. I mean, Lamar's in that conversation. If Joe Burrow could stay healthy, he's in that conversation. I think the field has gotten closer. I mean, I think the field has shrunk a little. Yes, that's a great question. This is the closest it's been to Mahomes not being a gap ahead of everybody else, in my mind. But again, he's still first. But boy, Josh Allen is a spectacular player. I mean, he is. That, and I'll give Prisco credit. He wasn't very good when he got to the league, and everybody said he was a bust, and Prisco said he's not going to be a bust. Give him some time. Boy, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's magnificent. The reigning MVP of the league and richly deserved. So James Cook is doing some nice things as well on the ground for Buffalo to give him a little bit of help. Dalton Kincaid, I think, has been a little bit of a disappointment for them at tight end. They invested a late first-round pick in him a couple years ago out of Utah. He's been okay. I think this is a big game for him. He sort of was battling through an injury all of his second year. So if Dalton Kincaid can emerge and become what they thought, that would add certainly a dynamic element. A receiver, I think the Bills are just sort of okay with Shakir and Keon Coleman, but obviously Coleman's a young player. He could get a lot better. But it's Josh Allen. I mean, he just presents so many issues. It's not just that he's fast. He's gigantic, so he can run with power. He's instinctual. He really has worked on his fundamentals to become a very accurate passer. He's learned how to anticipate what the defense wants to do. So, I mean, it's hard to argue in terms of the perfect player. He probably actually gives you a little bit more than Mahomes does, but it's impossible to go against Mahomes because of the success that he's had. But you are starting to see the weapons around Mahomes are pretty lackluster. I think if you put another quarterback in Kansas City's system, I think they'd quickly find that, particularly how it currently exists now. Maybe when they get Rashee Rice back, it's a little bit different. But Kelsey's not the same guy that he's been. He's barely holding on. The running game's a disaster with Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. They have no one that scares. Pacheco doesn't look like the same guy that he looked like when he was younger.
He's not the explosive guy that he was.
And so, they've got Hollywood Brown there, but I think he's more tease than legitimate good player. That somebody who you can consistently rely on. So I think what you're seeing is as the weapons have deteriorated in Kansas City, it's affected Mahomes. Whereas in Josh Allen, I don't think he has fantastic weapons. He does have, like I said, a very good running back, potentially a good tight end and a good receiver. But yeah, he's just from a defensive coordinator standpoint, there's nothing that he does that you feel good about, except when he hands it to James Cook. You feel good about that because at least it's not Josh Allen that has the ball in his hands. But even then, you're dealing with a young running back that is incredibly talented.
It's going to be interesting to see. Fun game to watch. Now that it's this many years in, have you warmed up to Al being with Kirk Herbstreit yet? Is it still awkward for you?
And him doing the NFL?
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
You still think so?
I think he's awful at it.
Do you? How about
and it's just too much. It probably wouldn't be if he wasn't shoved down your throat for every college football game. Maybe it would be okay, but it's way too much. For anybody to think he's talented enough to commandeer Thursday night, all day Saturday. It's just, to me, it's just too much. And I don't think he's particularly knowledgeable about the NFL game. Everything comes back to something that happened in college. Well, who cares? This is a totally different level of football. And I do think it shows up. Al Michaels, I think, has been better so far from what I've seen. I think with the matchups being better that Amazon's getting, he's kind of reinvigorated a little bit. But and it's not like Herbstreit's trying to be. I mean, he's doing his best.
He just doesn't fit
I just think he's overexposed, and I don't think he knows the NFL.
What about you, JJ? Same feeling?
I'm fine with it. I don't really care either way. I'm bothered by the dog, though. Just in general, we always have to see the dog, and it's like I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm over Kirk Herbstreit's dog.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, dog people.
No,
but
I kind of get
he's
that.
not the only dog owner in America.
I think Herbstreit's good. I think he's good at both. I think he's better at college because that's where you relate him to.
You know what was weird was Monday having Fowler on the NFL, and his voice was messed up. But that seemed more weird to me than hearing Kirk.
And in the double headers, he's been doing that. He and Lewis Riddick and Orlovsky. That's not new. They've done that the last few years. See, for me, I think Herbstreit's really good, like really good, and I think he's good on the NFL games too. But I think what happens, not just with you, Hayes, you so know him from college, it's just hard to get beyond. It's hard to get beyond he's the college guy.
And he brings up way too many things that occurred in college. Who cares?
Yeah,
it's the NFL, Kirk.
Yeah, to me, it's almost like, and I'll listen for that tonight to see if that happens. It's almost like Jay Billis doing these NBA games. Jay Billis is really good. I mean, Jay Billis is a really good color commentator. But I hear him doing it in the NBA games, and to me, he's the college guy. It doesn't mean he's doing it wrong. Doesn't mean he's not good at it.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
I feel the same way when I hear him doing
and I
NBA
think
games.
he's good at it.
Yeah, I'm just like, what are you doing
But
there?
he's the college guy, so I think that as well. Let's take a break. We'll wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great, great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner with honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, they'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now, 287-5727. Ask for the 1010XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
You've got a circle of friends, right? Well, how about a circle of beer? All your favorites like Bud Light, Bud Heavy, Mick Ultra, or Natty Light. It's all there in the cold case at Circle K. Probably one right around the corner right now calling your name. Slide on in to a Circle K.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Jags fans, arrive on time. The smartest way to get to the bank on game day is the JTA's Game Day Express, sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 pickup locations. Get your $10 pass on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit jtafla.com for details.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to american-electrical.com and see how they can help you.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Good show today. We appreciate our friend Greg McGarity coming by. He's the executive director of the Gator Bowl, and he taught college football. I appreciate Lee Smith, the executive director of the program. We got a lot of executive directors. Thursday's sort of executive director day.
We do.
What that is.
And you're the executive director of the SEC in college football.
Exactly right. Thank you for that.
JJ and I are going to have to figure out titles for ourselves.
The Lee Smith came by to talk golf. He does such a good job. And we sort of a little bit of a primer for the Ryder Cup. And then Lee will be at the Ryder Cup next week and previewing it from there. So certainly looking forward to that. So a lot of golf talk on the program as well today. And you heard from Devin Lloyd. Hayes, as always, does a terrific job tracking down Jaguar players every week. He has a handful of them. And so Devin Lloyd, and as always, you do a good job of getting the guys who are in the news. I'm serious about that. I mean, this was a good week to talk to Devin Lloyd.
Yeah.
He kind of won the job. Again, I say that.
Made a great play. Should have sealed the game.
It sure felt like he's winning the job over Ventrell Miller, who's a good player.
Yeah. But if Brian Thomas Jr. catches that fourth down
then they win
the game, then you trace it immediately to Devin Lloyd.
That's right. So
but I appreciate it. Yeah. And we'll have a couple more tomorrow. Locker room open tomorrow. And as we wrap up the week.
Yeah. So certainly we've enjoyed those. And I'm excited about the football weekend. JJ's more excited about Florida, Miami than we are because they're going to win. but it's still Florida, Miami. It's still it still has a little juice.
The blood will be boiling at 7:00 Saturday night, waiting for that game to start. I mean, look, you have to hope for the best. I mean, I don't think Florida's going to win, but it's the only good thing about playing this kind of a schedule is you can quickly build momentum if you can figure it out. If Florida can go to Miami and win Saturday night, then you're playing a gigantic game Saturday in the Swamp against Texas.
Yeah.
That's what, so I have no faith that Billy Napier can do that again because I just think it's harder. I think the teams are all, I think LSU last year, Ole Miss, they were good. They were great.
Home games.
I think Miami is a great team.
Yeah.
So my expectation is very low, but it is an opportunity. And it wouldn't be the biggest upset that we've ever seen in college football.
Right.
Far from it. So, I mean, I'll be intense. It will be intense.
Yeah.
It's just a question of can Florida execute at all on offense?
And Miami has not played from behind at all this season. They've faced some adversity when Notre Dame tied it really late. So, they show that they can come back on a drive and win. But listen, Florida takes an early lead. They got the run game going.
That's right.
Anything could happen, man.
Well, here's the one question. I don't think there's much debate about who Miami is.
Right, I agree.
I got a pretty good idea who I think they are. There's still some debate because Florida's not bad on defense. If they ever did get offense going like last year, could they hang around with the Miami? I mean, they hung around with LSU because the defense kept them in it. So,
and what if Billy Napier does say on Saturday, I am going to give Jaden Baugh 35 carries?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so at least then see who they are. I mean, again, last year, who we thought they were offensively to start the season when they were so miserable against Miami and Texas A&M, and then for whatever reason they became better. If that happens this year with a pretty good defense and good specialists. You never know. Again, we have a pretty good idea. The problem is Miami, Texas A&M, particularly there, Georgia, Tennessee, FSU. I think I got a pretty good idea who all of them are. That's the problem. I think they're all pretty good teams. I really do.
But and they are, and we've talked about it. The math is still with Napier.
That's right.
If they were to get
now,
hot,
it's fading. It is,
but he's only lost one conference game.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's only lost 2 overall.
Yeah.
So if you could beat Miami Saturday and beat Texas and hold serve against Mississippi State, well, now you're playing a very meaningful cocktail party.
And whereas that's unlikely.
Very unlikely, but it's not impossible.
It's unlikely, but the defense is good enough that it's possible. If both units were lousy, then it would be impossible. The defense is good enough. I think it's unlikely, too. I think they get beat 31-10. Okay. But I think the defense is good enough that it's possible that it could turn around. So
it's crazy that the Texas game seems like the easier one now.
Yeah. You know what?
By a mile.
And before the season, everyone took marked an L next.
Yeah, because they've looked clunky and it's a home game.
Right.
Yeah, so that they've looked clunky.
The Swamp is not normally where you want to figure out your offense.
Yeah.
That is not normally where you get well on offense if you've been struggling coming in.
The shame of this season is just beat USF, who's not very good. Right. Then at least, okay, we're 2-1 now, and here comes Miami, and you never know. And then off we just they couldn't lose. I told you that before. They couldn't lose that one.
Inexcusable.
That's the one you couldn't lose. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that ruined the season.
Ruined the season.
Even if you were 2-2 after Saturday night, Okay, that's 2 top 5 teams.
Right.
On the
In
road.
their house.
Right. So, but the USF game ruined the season.
Yeah. If they had beaten USF, and what were they when they lost to USF? 13th?
Somewhere 11th.
So
11th. Yeah,
11th.
Somewhere
Let's say they were 11th. So you beat USF even to survive it.
Yeah.
And then you lose at LSU by 10. You drop like 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, and which would make this week a lot more fun. Folks, that'll do it for our program. Don't go anywhere. Jaguars Happy Hour is right now. JP Shadrick and company have that for you. We're out of here. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.